American Watchman here, and today I want to discuss this recent escalation between Iran and Israel. Following the assassination of Hamas leader Ismail Haniyeh in the heart of Iran, tensions in the Middle East are at a boiling point. Reports are suggesting that the Iranian leadership, vowing revenge, might launch an attack on Israel as soon as tonight. It was also noted that Iranian television channels are moving away from normal broadcasting. They're getting more militarized. They're starting to show marches and military anthems. There's been an increased readiness for war. Tonight or very soon, you can expect thousands of missiles and drones to rain down on Israel from Iran. This will lead to a much larger regional war in the Middle East. It may even kick off the Gog and Magog war, also known as World War III. Iran's chief religious leader, Ayatollah Ali Khamenei, has given his blessings to the Iranian president to wage war against Israel. In response to the recent dramatic escalation, countries throughout the world are telling their people to leave Iran, Israel, and Lebanon before a massive war kicks off. It has been reported that Khamenei has ordered the government to carry out a direct attack on Israel as revenge for assassinating the Hamas leader, which has deeply humiliated Iran. The White House also made a statement on these developments stating, Iran has proven that it is capable and willing to launch a major attack on Israel. We must take Iran's warning of retaliation seriously. We are taking all necessary precautions. Secretary of Defense Lloyd Austin has ordered the USS Abraham Lincoln Carrier Strike Group to replace the USS Theodore Roosevelt Carrier Strike Group currently in that region. Additionally, more cruisers and destroyers equipped with ballistic missile interception systems are being deployed to U.S., European Command, and U.S. Central Command areas. The Pentagon also announced plans to enhance readiness for deploying additional land-based ballistic missile defense systems. It's further reported that an additional squadron of fighter jets will be sent to the Middle East to support these defensive measures. Could this be the start of the Gog and Magog war? Now, I want you to envision a world where ancient prophecies stir with ominous energy, where the shadow of an apocalyptic conflict looms ever so close on the horizon. This, of course, is the Gog and Magog war, a legendary confrontation which has been prophesied in the Bible that promises to shake the very foundations of our current reality, a war like we've never seen. The Bible whispers of a time when Gog, a formidable leader from the land of Magog, will gather a massive army from the furthest corners of the earth. This leader, Gog, could it be the Russian president, Vladimir Putin? According to Ezekiel 38, verses 2 through 3, Gog is described as the chief prince of Meshach and Tubal. In Ezekiel 38, verses 1 through 2, it states, the word of the Lord came to me, Son of man, set your face against Gog of the land of Magog, the chief prince of Meshach and Tubal. Magog, Meshach, and Tubal were all sons of Japheth in the Old Testament, who was one of the three sons of Noah. Scholars believe that Japheth and his family migrated to the area of modern-day Russia. Genesis 10, verses 2 through 3. Gog is a person who rules over the land of Magog, or modern-day Russia. Magog means the prince of Rosh, Gog. Rosh is the old root word for the land of Russia. Gog informs Gog and Magog in Ezekiel 38, verse 15. You will come from your place in the far north. And the Hebrew word means the uttermost part of the north. And what's north of Jerusalem? Moscow. Moscow is directly north of Jerusalem in the land of Israel. Meshach is the old name for the capital of Western Russia, which is known today as Moscow. Tubal is identified as likely being modern-day Tobolsk, a major city in Russia. Russia is the king of the north. Ezekiel 38, verses 5 through 6, identifies the rest of the nations that are dragged into the battle of Gog and Magog. And of particular interest, it mentions Persia. Persia is listed with the other countries who attempt to attack Israel in the latter days. The Bible states that Cush and Put will be with them, all with shields and helmets. Also Gomer with all its troops, and Beth Togarmah from the far north with all its troops. The many nations with you. This is found in Ezekiel. Persia is the ancient name of modern-day Iran. Cush describes present-day Ethiopia and the nations of Central Africa. Put and Libya are located in northern Africa. Beth Togarmah is Asia Minor and Turkey. Did you see the news the other day where the Turkish president has discussed invading Israel? For the Turkish president to state this publicly means that such an invasion has already been proposed. It means they're making plans for this. So, I would say sometime in the near future, Iran, Turkey, Russia will proceed with their attempted invasion of Israel, along with their smaller allies. However, God has no intention of allowing Russia and their allies to take over the land of Israel. Have you ever looked into the description of what happens to the Gog and Magog forces when they attempt to invade Israel? It doesn't go well for them. Ask yourself, does it sound nuclear, possibly? Ezekiel 38, 17 through 22. At that time, this is what will happen in that day. When Gog attacks the land of Israel, my hot anger will be aroused. In my zeal and fiery wrath, I will execute judgment upon him with plague and bloodshed. Ezekiel 38, verses 22 through Ezekiel 39. I will pour down torrents of rain, hailstones, and burning sulfur on him and on his troops, the fish of the sea, the birds of the air, and the beasts of the field. Every creature and all the people in the face of the earth will tremble at his presence. It goes on to say, I will pour out torrents of rain, hailstones, and burning sulfur on him and on his troops. And I will send fire on Magog and on those who live in security in the coastlands. Could this be referring to a nuclear war with Magog? The Bible further states, on that day I will give Gog the burial place in the valley of those who travel east toward the sea, that will block the way of travelers, because Gog and all his hordes will be buried there. So it will be called the Valley of Hamon-Gog. We see these verses, what seems to describe, I would think, a nuclear holocaust, a nuclear war. Fire and brimstone falling from the sky, the earth shaking. The faces of the invading soldiers are described as melting like hot wax. Ezekiel 39 verse 12 says that for 7 months the house of Israel will be burying them in order to cleanse the land. Why do they need to cleanse the land? Are they trying to decontaminate radiation from the land? Look how careful and meticulous Israel is when decontaminating the land of likely irradiated bodies. Verse 14 states, they will set apart men regularly employed with the help of a search party to pass through the land and bury those bodies remaining on the ground in order to cleanse it. It goes on to state at the end of 7 months, they will make a search. Why 7 months? Are they waiting for the potency of the radiation to dissipate? Now the next part is interesting. Again, notice how very meticulous and careful the Israelis are with handling the bodies from the invasion. Verse 15 states, the search party will pass through the land, and when anyone sees a man's bone, he shall set up a marker by it, till the buriers have buried it in the valley of Hamon-Gog. The name of the city will also be Hamona. I don't know if I said that right, but thus they shall cleanse the land. During this time and after, the Bible hints at a war between the king of the north, which is most likely Russia, and the Antichrist. The Antichrist will likely be the leader of a unified Europe. So this will probably be a war between Russia and NATO. As a result of the war between the king of the north and the Antichrist, Israel is open to signing a 7-year peace treaty with the Antichrist to protect them from another invasion or future invasions. And this will most likely kick off the Great Tribulation. In this epic battle, the forces of Gog and Magog will not only challenge Israel, but will confront the very will of the divine. The prophetic narrative in Revelation 28, further in the future, adds another layer to this cosmic drama, predicting that after 1,000 years of peace, Satan will be released to deceive the nations once more, gathering them for a final assault on the holy city, symbolizing Gog and Magog's ultimate rebellion against God's kingdom. As Iran is about to retaliate against Israel, are we on the cusp of the Gog and Magog war? Is the Holy Bible describing World War III in the ancient text? If we are on the verge of World War III and the Gog and Magog war prophesied in Ezekiel, how close is the rapture of the church? If Gog and Magog is close, it means we need to look up as our redemption draws nigh. Make sure you and your loved ones are rapture ready. Have them read Romans 10:9 for the way to salvation through our Savior, Jesus Christ. Until next time, American Watchman out.